If you slept peacefully on December 3, 2024 for a solid 8 hours, you likely missed one of the most shocking and swift political upheavals in modern history. A martial law was imposed in South Korea at precisely 22:27 Korean Standard Time and was lifted by 4:30 the following morning. In just 6 hours, the country transitioned from democratic rule to a military regime and back again, all while most of its citizens were asleep. Such traumatic events rarely come without consequences, and surprisingly, one of those consequences might just hit your wallet if you're eyeing the upcoming Galaxy S25 smartphone. Before we dive in, don't forget to join our membership for exclusive updates and insights. The link is in the description. The implications of this brief but impactful event ripple far beyond politics. The South Korean won has been under intense pressure for much of the year due to economic and geopolitical turbulence, but the uncertainty triggered by this martial law and the subsequent impeachment proceedings against President Yoon Suk-yeol has only worsened the situation. The exchange rate between the South Korean won and the United States dollar has soared to over 1,431 per dollar, a decline of 8.5% against the dollar in just 1 year. For businesses reliant on imports like Samsung, this spells trouble. To put it simply, a weaker won means Samsung has to spend more to purchase components priced in dollars. Qualcomm, the supplier of the powerful Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset expected to power the Galaxy S25 series, has already raised its prices. This double whammy of a weakened currency and pricier components leaves Samsung with little room to maneuver. To preserve their slim profit margins, the company will likely have no choice but to increase the price of the Galaxy S25 series, not just in South Korea, but also in other markets facing similar currency depreciation. This isn't the first time Samsung has dealt with such a dilemma. Just last year, they managed to keep the prices of the Galaxy S24 and S24 Plus steady in South Korea by equipping them with their own Exynos 2400 chipsets, while raising the price of the Galaxy S24 Ultra, which featured Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset, by nearly 100,000 won, around 70 United States dollars. However, with the Galaxy S25 series expected to run exclusively on the imported Snapdragon 8 Elite, analysts predict a price hike of 150,000 won, or roughly 100 United States dollars, for South Korean customers. Other markets, especially those with weakening currencies, could see similar price increases. Now would be a good time to reflect on how democracy often brings economic stability, leading to cheaper goods and services. The fleeting military regime demonstrated how political instability can wreak havoc on financial markets, impacting everyday products. Speaking of stability, join our membership today for more exclusive insights into the tech world, link in the description. Unfortunately, the price hike saga doesn't end with the Galaxy S25. The outlook for the Galaxy S26 series, set to launch in 2026, seems even grimmer, with reports suggesting that Samsung will continue its partnership with Qualcomm for the Snapdragon-only strategy, and with Qualcomm poised to raise chipset prices further, customers might face an even steeper price tag for the next flagship lineup. While Samsung is eager to bring its Exynos chipsets back to the forefront, it seems unlikely they'll achieve the performance parity needed to replace Qualcomm's offerings anytime soon. These developments underscore a broader trend in the tech industry, where global events and economic factors directly influence consumer products. The next time you pick up a smartphone, you might be holding a piece of history shaped by political unrest and international currency fluctuations. To stay ahead of these changes, make sure you join our membership community. The link is in the description. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.
The smartphone industry is constantly evolving, with each new year bringing us flagship devices that push the boundaries of technology and design. In this video, we'll be taking a close look at the two biggest names in the smartphone world right now: Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max and Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra. Both phones are powerhouses in their own right, but how do they stack up against each other? Let's dive into the battle of the bigs. Design and size. As expected, Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max doesn't deviate much from its predecessor when it comes to design. The rectangular shape, soft corners, flat sides, and dynamic island pill-shaped cutout remain. This year, however, the screen has grown from 6.7 inches to a massive 6.9 inches, making it the largest display ever on an iPhone. Its bezels are even thinner, but the overall dimensions have changed slightly, measuring 163 millimeters by 77.6 millimeters. In comparison, the Galaxy S24 Ultra is slightly smaller at 162.3 millimeters in height, but a bit wider at 79 millimeters, making it easier to handle for users who love to use the S Pen for sketching or taking notes. Speaking of the S Pen, Samsung once again offers the stylus nestled into the bottom of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. It's a feature that remains unique to Samsung in the flagship market, and one that many users either love or ignore completely. The precision of the S Pen, developed in partnership with Wacom, is something to be admired, making it a fantastic tool for creative tasks. Apple, on the other hand, introduces some new tricks with its buttons. The Action button, which debuted in the iPhone 15 Pro series, returns, offering customizable functions for launching apps or activating Siri shortcuts. But the real star of the show is the new Camera Control button. This physical key, equipped with a capacitive surface, allows users to control the camera with a swipe, much like a traditional camera shutter button, enhancing the photography experience. Both phones come in sleek color options. The iPhone 16 Pro Max offers titanium finishes in white, black, natural, and the new Desert Titanium. Meanwhile, Samsung gives users a broader selection with titanium violet, yellow, black, and gray, and 3 exclusive colors if you order directly from Samsung's website. Display differences. When it comes to display, both phones boast impressive technology. The iPhone 16 Pro Max features a 6.9-inch OLED panel with a 120Hz refresh rate and an always-on display that can drop its refresh rate to just 1 Hz, keeping your wallpaper or photos visible even when the phone is asleep. Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra comes equipped with its signature AMOLED screen, also featuring a 120Hz refresh rate and an always-on display. However, Samsung has a slight edge here with its anti-reflective coating, which makes the screen much easier to see outdoors. In contrast, the iPhone struggles with reflections in bright sunlight despite its high brightness. Color accuracy is another area where the two phones differ slightly. The iPhone's display leans towards a yellowish hue, while the Galaxy has a bit of a teal tint. But with both phones offering blue light filters and adaptive color calibration, these differences are minimal in day-to-day use. One new feature for the iPhone 16 Pro Max is its ability to drop to an incredibly low 1-nit brightness level, making it easier on the eyes in dark environments. Samsung's display already hovers around this level, so both phones are excellent for nighttime use. Performance and software. Under the hood, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is powered by Apple's latest A18 Pro chip, built on a second-gen 3nm process by TSMC. This cutting-edge chip brings significant improvements in performance and efficiency, particularly when it comes to handling heavy tasks like gaming and AI-driven processes. Apple has also focused on better heat dissipation, addressing the overheating issues that plagued the A17 Pro chip. The Galaxy S24 Ultra, on the other hand, is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, specifically tuned for Samsung devices. While both chips are incredibly powerful, benchmarks show that Apple's A18 Pro takes the lead in CPU performance. However, in 3D graphics tests, the Galaxy S24 Ultra isn't far behind, offering stellar gaming performance. Both Apple and Samsung are pushing into the realm of AI, with dedicated NPU cores to handle AI tasks. The iPhone 16 Pro Max comes with Apple Intelligence, which will roll out new features gradually, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra already boasts AI-powered features like live translation, generative image editing, and transcript summaries. As for software, the iPhone runs iOS, which has seen some welcome changes this year, bringing it closer to the flexibility of Android. You can now place app icons anywhere on the home screen and even customize their colors. But if customization is what you're after, Samsung's One UI still reigns supreme with features like split-screen multitasking, themes, and more. Samsung has also stepped up its software update game, promising 7 years of updates for the Galaxy S24 Ultra, compared to Apple's 5-year commitment for the iPhone. Camera capabilities. Apple has made some significant upgrades to the cameras on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, particularly the ultra-wide camera, which now features a 48-megapixel sensor. The main camera remains at 48 megapixel, and the 5x telephoto camera comes with a 12-megapixel sensor. A new lens coating helps reduce the lens flare issue that has been prevalent in recent iPhone models, especially during night shots. Samsung, as always, is pushing the envelope with its camera hardware. The Galaxy S24 Ultra boasts a hopping 200-megapixel main camera, alongside a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, a 10-megapixel 3x telephoto, and a 50-megapixel 5x zoom camera. While the megapixel count might seem impressive, the real magic happens in post-processing. Both phones have excellent cameras, but Samsung has a slight edge in zoom performance, while the iPhone tends to over-sharpen fine details like leaves or grass. In low light conditions, both phones perform admirably, but the iPhone's new lens coating helps reduce the flare and artifacts that can appear in night photos. Samsung, on the other hand, continues to struggle slightly with oversaturated greens in its images, but this is only noticeable when directly comparing photos side by side. Battery and charging. When it comes to battery life, both phones pack a punch. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has a 4,685 mAh battery, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra comes with a slightly larger 5,000 mAh battery. However, Samsung takes the lead in charging speeds, offering 45-watt wired charging compared to the iPhone's 20-watt. For wireless charging, Apple's MagSafe offers 25-watt, while Samsung's wireless charging maxes out at 15-watt. Conclusion. So, which phone is the better choice? It's a tough call. The iPhone 16 Pro Max impresses with its sleek design, powerful A18 Pro chip, and improved cameras, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra excels with its S Pen, higher megapixel count, and faster charging speeds. Ultimately, it comes down to personal preference and whether you're more entrenched in Apple's ecosystem or Samsung's Android world. Either way, you're getting a top-tier smartphone that won't disappoint. What do you think about it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Until then, take care. Goodbye.